When you think of slope, what do you think of? Rise over run. Good. That's this part right here. So rise is talking about up and down, correct? Like when you grow, you cannot grow side to side, or I guess you can if you get fat. But rise is talking about up and down. Running is talking about side to side, like a person runs. So the change in y is going to be y2 minus y1. The difference between two y values. And then the run is also x2 minus x1. We have to use subtraction because we're talking about the change in two values, the difference between two values. Okay? So it's really talking about the vertical change over horizontal change. And do y'all remember what letter we used to represent slope? M. Good. And I put this in here because I thought it was neat. I was wondering why we use M. And it's because the first letter of the French verb monter means to rise or to ascend. That's just a fun fact. Okay. So now we're going to find the slope given 2 points. Question. We know what our x and y are, right? Jalen, tell me our two x's right here.
Negative 30 and negative 2.
And then Antonio, the y's?
4 and negative 12.
Good. Does it matter which one we put first in the formula?
Yes.
It does? Sometimes? Let's try it. Alright, Kaya. Give me a y. It can be either one of these.
4.
Alright, so let's do negative 1 minus 4. So we're finding the difference in the two y's. The order of the x's on bottom do matter. So what is our x value that goes with negative 1? That needs to go up under it. And what is the y value, or excuse me, x value for this one? Good. So on top, negative 1 minus 4 is going to give us what?
Negative 5.
And on bottom?
It's going to be positive 5.
Good. Because you have to do keep, change, right? Negative 1. So our slope will be what? Positive 5. Let's try it. You don't have to write this down, but let's look at it. Do you have a question?
Yeah, didn't we just do x1 minus x2?
We did. So he was saying we did x1 first instead of x2 first. So we were talking about would it change if we flipped them around. So let's see if it does change. So what we're saying is let's try to put 4 first. So 4 minus negative 1. Again, you don't have to copy this down. And so on bottom we'd put what? Negative 3, right? So on top we'd have what? Positive 5 on bottom? 1, right? So wouldn't the slopes be the same? 5 and 5? So it doesn't matter what order you put it in, the y is on top, as long as the x that it goes with is beneath it. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So, Darian, tell me my x's in this next problem. And my y's? Yeah, 4 and negative 2. Alright, Ransom, pick the y that you want to go first.
4.
Alright, tell me what else, right? Over. Good. Kelsey, what's going to be on top? Good. Jalen, or excuse me, I've already picked on you enough. Amber on bottom? Good. Now, do we want to leave our slope as a decimal or a fraction?
Fraction.
Why?
So you don't like decimal because
That's not why.
it's
Good. Say it louder, Katie. Good. And if I put it as a decimal, you wouldn't know on a graph how to rise and run, right? Unless it's in a fraction form. So always leave your slope in a fraction form. Now do C on your own.
Wait, the point that you proved in A is that you can do it either way?
Yes. Like any order, the Y's.
What about X?
The X's, it matters. The Y that it goes with has to, that corresponding X has to go underneath. So the order up here doesn't matter. The order on bottom does matter. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta do it.
I don't know what you were saying. Anybody need a calculator? I have one. Alright, what'd y'all get?
Undefined.
How'd you get undefined?
Like negative. 25.
Tell me what y you put first. Let's do that first.
Negative 3,
Minus what?
4,
Over.
and 5.
Alright, so on top we would get what?
Negative 7.
On bottom?
0.
So why wouldn't the slope be 0?
What you think?
Because you can't divide by 0? That's
Bottom
correct.
down.
So this slope, if 0 is on bottom, would be undefined. Oops. But let me ask you a question. What if you got an answer that was 0 over negative 7? What would the slope be? 0, because you can divide if 0 is on top. When it's on bottom, it's undefined. And do y'all know what kind of lines have undefined slope?
Horizontal.
Vertical.
What?
Yes. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Actually, I'll tell you right now. So, everybody knows Kelsey, right? Raise your hand, Kelsey. Yeah, hi, Kelsey. Okay, so let me tell you a story about her right quick, and then we'll continue with the lesson, okay? So, me and Kelsey went to Six Flags this summer in Georgia. And
Really?
yeah,
How was
we're
it?
tight. We're friends. It was awesome.
Thanks for the invite.
And she's scared of roller coasters. So I convinced her to get on a roller coaster with me after she cried for like 5 minutes and begged me not to. But anyway, she finally got on the roller coaster. So here's a picture of us going up the roller coaster. Or actually, I'll just draw her. She's happy right now. But I know, right? So we're going up the roller coaster, and right now she's happy. She's like, okay, this isn't too bad. It's not that scary. So she was having a positive experience. Then it kind of bottoms out like most roller coasters do. And then when we got up here, she was like, I'm bored. Like, this is kind of boring. I thought it was going to be scary, but now I'm having 0 fun. I'm bored out of my mind. And then what do you think happened?
It goes down.
Yes, it dropped straight down, and we actually died on the roller coaster.
Doesn't sound very good.
That's not true, right? We're still here. You wished it probably happened, but no, it did not. It's not true.
But y'all ain't go see
But it did drop. It did not drop straight down. It was kind of at an angle like this, and then she cried because she was scared. All right, why did I tell y'all that story?
Look how it is. It's going.
To explain what?
Run.
It didn't actually happen, okay?
So y'all go Six Flags?
So shut up. Alright, so I told y'all this because when it's going uphill, a line it has a what slope?
Positive.
Positive, just like Kelsey. She's having,
Horizontal to it.
this is a horizontal line, and she was having 0 fun, 0 slope. This is a vertical line, and what's not true, the slope is what? Undefined.
Undefined.
When it's going downhill, she was having a negative experience. That's why I told y'all that. So I want y'all to draw a picture of each kind of line in the box. So draw a line that has a positive slope. It could be like this if you'd like. I want you to draw one that has a negative slope, 0 slope, and undefined on your own. Go ahead. Draw.
How you draw the negative slope?
Going downhill.
So like the opposite of that.
Yep. Oops. And also another way to remember horizontal and vertical, that their slopes, that a 0 slope is when you have a horizontal line, is because the word horizontal does have a 0 in it, right? Has an O in it, looks like a 0, but vertical does not. So that's another easy way that some of my kids remembered it from Algebra 2 or 3. Alright, so moving on. What if I told you to take this formula, which is the slope formula, the one we just used, right, and solve for y? How would you solve for y? Good. Multiply everything by x2 minus x1, right? So let me write it down like this. So I just wrote the same thing, except this time I'm multiplying both sides by x. Alright, on this side, let's just leave it in parentheses instead of distributing it out. What would happen on this side?
We go down.
What now?
Down.
Die down.
No.
What would happen to the x's?
That's what I'm saying.
Good. Is that what you meant by die?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so on this side you would just have y2 minus y1, right, by itself. On the other side, you'd have m times these x terms. Does anybody know what this formula is called? Point slope form. Good. Point slope form. This is the point slope formula. So we are, going to be working on putting equations in point slope form. So all you need is an y, an m, which is your slope, and an x.
Sometimes we want to.
Say that again.
Sometimes. No, I was school.
Okay. And here's the formula again down here. And we'll use this one when we do these. So the y2 and the y1 won't confuse you. Alright, this that they give you is the m. M is 4. Now this is our x and y. Which one's our x? -1. This one's our y. But I want you to label them as x1 and y1 every time we do this. And again, that's so it'd be easier on you using the formula. So all we're going to do is plug in what we have. We don't have y, we just have y1. So we're just going to leave it y minus, what's our y1? 3 equals 4 parentheses x minus -1. That would make it x what? +1. Good. That's how you write an equation in point slope form. That's all you have to do. Now we're going to take this and put it in slope intercept form. What is slope intercept form? Yes. So to put an equation in slope intercept form, you just have to solve for what?
The slope?
What letters by itself?
Y.
Yes, that's what we're going to solve for. So looking at this equation right here, what do I need to get rid of? The -3 by doing what? Adding it. So we have y equals, adding 3 to both sides, 4x plus 1 plus 3. Now I need to get rid of the what? Parentheses by doing what? So tell me what that's going to give us.
Y equals 4x plus 4.
And then finally simplify, we'll get y equals,
4x plus 7.
that's it. So again, tell me what this form is called.
Slope. Yes, slope.
Slope what? Intercept form. This is called point slope. Good. Sorry, this thing's acting up today. Alright, try the next one on your own. Try B on your own. So put it in point slope form, then slope intercept form. Is your water? Alright, Cade, tell me the point slope form.
I put y minus 5 equals 2 the slope, parentheses x minus 1.
See right? Yes, very good. Alright, Darian, tell me what you got for slope intercept form.
Y equals 2x plus 3.
See right?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Do we need to go over it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I right?
Raise your hand if you need to see me work this one out. Yes, okay. Then Antonio, you're going to help me with it. Tell me what you did first. Alright. Now what? So we get y equals what?
2x minus 2.
And then combine your like terms, you get 3. Alright, flip it over. These are this, or C is the same, so I want you to mark that one out. I think y'all know how to do that one. But D is different because it doesn't give you the slope. So how do we find it?
You got the, just multiply like x, something like 0.
So I squared minus 1.
What now?
Y squared minus y1 over x minus x.
Yes, slope formula. So tell me what y do you want to put first? Yeah.
6.
Alright, so 6 minus what?
Negative 3.
Over.
Negative 2 minus 4.
Good. Alright, so Michaela, what would we have on top?
6. Oh, wait. What? I'm sorry. I was doing it.
It's okay. What's the top going to be when we combine like terms?
9.
Good. And the bottom?
Negative 6.
Good. Do we want to leave the slope like this?
No.
And here's why. When you start graphing these, nobody wants to run 9, or excuse me, rise 9 and run negative 6, because those are big numbers. We can simplify this to what?
Negative 3.
Over
Like
2. That's the slope. Now, for point slope form, do you think it matters which point we use?
no.
Nope. So, Megan, pick a point. This one? Just pick one of these to work with. Okay. So, we'll work with this one. So, I'll have y minus what? Anybody?
6.
Equals.
3 over.
Good.
Yeah.
And then x.
Wait.
Plus
Good. Minus a negative 2. That's going to give me plus 2. That is called what form? Point slope. I want you to put it in slope intercept form. Go ahead and do that.
So I'm gonna fill it for you.
Alright, who wants to tell me the slope intercept form? Go ahead.
I'm wrong, but I got y equals negative 2x over 2 plus 3.
Plus what?
Plus 3.
See right, everybody? Raise your hand if you got this. It's correct. Do I need to go over it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Why do you say yes when you got it? I just don't understand. Okay. Anyways, so for this one we have to add 6 first, right? So we got y equals negative 3 over 2 x plus 2 plus 6. Alright, when we distribute this, Brandon, tell me what we would get when we distribute this fraction.
We're going to get negative 3 over 2 x plus x minus 3. Sorry.
Good, because the 2's cancel out, right? Plus 6, so when we combine these, they will make 3, like we got here. What now?
I mean, I do something like that. I basically like multiply it with -3.
You basically got it right.
Yeah, did the same thing. Good job. Alright, the first person who can tell me the correct answer for E and F can draw out of the box. It has to be in point slope form and slope intercept. So whenever you think you've got it, raise your hand and I'll come check for both of them. You see the other one. Copy both of them. So that one looks good. Yeah, it's got to be both of them. Looks good.
It's all in this box. I'll let it look. Got it. Save it for a day that I really use can.
Alright, let's go over these. So, Katie, what did you get for the point slope form for E?
96 plus 1 over -1.
Good. And your slope, you got what?
Oh, -5.
Good. So tell me the point slope form of this problem. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I got it
It's okay.
right. I got one
Yeah, that's slope intercept form. I need point slope form.
So I put y plus 6 equals -5 times x plus 1 minus
Like that?
5. Yeah.
Very good. Did anybody use a different point? The other point? That's fine too. So your y-intercept, or excuse me, slope intercept form should be what, everybody?
Y equals -5 minus 1.
Good. Do I need to go over this one? Yes? Okay. So for this one, is everybody okay with how we got this part? Point slope form. Okay, so from here we do what? Subtract 6. So I'm going to leave this side the same. Minus 6 on this side. And then I need to get rid of the what?
Let's see.
Batch distributing. So this will be y equals
Negative 5x
minus 5. Good. Now these are on the same side of the equal sign, so when I combine them, it'll be negative 5 minus 6, which is negative 11. Yes. Any questions on that one? Alright, Logan, what'd you get for your slope on this one?
2.
Good. Tell me the equation in point slope form.
Y minus 10 equals 2 times x minus 5.
Yes,
Can you work out how you get to?
I can. Give me an y, Antonio.
Never mind, I got it. I just divided it wrong.
Okay. Alright, Jalen, from here we need to do what? Need to get y by itself, so we need to do what? Good. Justin, from here, what should we do? That's going to give us what, Justin?
2x.
What? Plus 10? What happens to the 10s?
They go away.
So my final answer is very good. Alright, how do y'all feel about those?
Yeah.
You good? Like I said, Antonio, I don't believe you because you just... I don't believe you. Yes. Alright, I need just 2 volunteers. Alright, Antonio, I just need 1 more. You don't have to do math. It's just drawing. Come on up, Darren. You can do it. I want you to draw 2 x-intercepts. 2 dots of x-intercepts. I just want you to draw 2 y-intercepts. Just a dot up here on the same plane. Let's go. 2 of them, Darren. That's fine. Draw another one. Anywhere. That's the y-intercept. Thank you. That's all I want you to do. Alright, what do, thank you, these dots have in common, the black ones? What axis? X-axis. What else do they have in common? What 0? Not the slope, because this is just a point, not a line. This line is the slope of 0. Well, what would this coordinate point be for this point?
0.
Zero what?
They have 0, 5.
Give me a coordinate point for this one.
0, 5.
Negative 5, 0.
Good.
Negative
Negative 5, 0. This one?
5.
What do these have in common? The 0. The what is 0?
Y.
The y. Good. Here, these have what in common? The x is 0. Good. So to find our x-intercepts in an equation, we set what to 0? Y. To find your y-intercept, you set what to 0? X.
That's
Do
what I'm
that.
talking about earlier.
Okay. You just got to put it into words better. So an x-intercept is where a line crosses the x-axis. A y-intercept's where it crosses the y-axis. And I just put here for us to draw pictures on here. If you'd like to remember that these are x-intercepts, these are y-intercepts. And we talked about for all x-intercepts, y is 0. For all y-intercepts, x is 0. So to find an x-intercept, set y to 0. To find an x or y-intercept, set x to 0. So when I say set to 0, that just makes it disappear, correct? Like if you multiply something by 0, it disappears. It turns to 0. So for this one, finding the x-intercept, when I say set y to 0, that just means you can cover it up. So tell me the equation if I didn't have this y here.
Where x minus 6 equals 0.
Yes. Now how do I solve for x?
Add 6.
Good. And now when I divide by 4, I'm going to get what?
0, 2, right?
Yes. Now, when you're graphing like a coordinate point, would it be easier to put it in a decimal or fraction? Probably. A fraction?
Wait,
So if I asked you where was 3 over 2 on your x-axis, you could easily tell me. Yes, because it's a decimal. 1.5 is a decimal. So for x and y intercepts, it's going to be easier to change it to a decimal, in my opinion. And why did I write it like this?
it's 0.
Because it's a coordinate point, and you need to know where to put it on the graph. And I want y'all to do that too. So anytime you do an x and y intercept, put it as a coordinate point. So for your y-intercept, if I set what to 0?
4.
X
Yeah.
to 0, I'd get negative 3y minus 6 equals 0.
Yeah, add 6.
Okay? Then what?
You got my name 3.
They give you what?
Negative 2.
Now, Alyssa, tell me how I could write this as a coordinate point. Very good. Alright, once you do part B and I've checked it, you can pack it up. Once it's correct and I've checked it.